What's going on, guys? Welcome back into the channel. Today's video is going to be about the new scouting update and a couple of tips to get started right within the new scouting update in Madden 22 to set yourselves up for success in those franchise modes. Now, the very important thing to note here with the new scouting update in Madden 22 is that you only have access to this new scouting update if you are starting a new franchise. So, if you are starting a new franchise, you're going to hop into a franchise in preseason week 1, and it's going to give you the option to hire and assign scouts. However, you will not yet have access to any of the prospects, any regional breakdowns, or mock drafts, or anything of that sort whenever jumping into that franchise mode. All you have access to is your scouting pool within franchise mode and your scouts that are available to you and the scouts that you have. If you are looking at the scouts that you currently have on your team, you're going to be started out on that page. If you want to hire new scouts or see who is available out there as a free agent scout, you can go and hit L2 or the left trigger, and you'll be able to sort down to free agent scouts and go from there. Now, you can use the square button, or on Xbox, I think that's X, in order to sort these by tier, region, position expertise 2. All of these scouts are going to have a position expertise 1. Some of them will have a second position expertise, which would theoretically help you in your scouting. So, one thing to note here is on your scouting roster, you will have 1 tier 3 scout, 1 tier 2 scout, and 3 tier 1 scouts. That's very important to note. You can only replace a tier 1 scout with another tier 1 scout, a tier 2 with a tier 2, and a tier 3 with a tier 3. Let's say I fired my tier 1 scout. I could not go out and hire another tier 3 scout. One of the things that I love about this new scouting update are there are legitimate players out there that are trying to scout within the NFL at this level. And so you will see guys like Alan Faneca out here. There are various different other players out here like TJ Hushmanzada, for example, Sean Alexander, plenty of players that have played within the NFL, plenty of names out here of people that are legitimate scouts within the league. And so some of those guys will be higher tier scouts. Now, the thing to note here is what should you do with your scouts here whenever you're starting out? Because you don't have access to the prospects or you don't have anything scouted yet. So people may say, oh, well, I'll put it off. I'll do that in week 1 whenever the scouting actually comes out. No, you need to make sure that you have your scouts set up as soon as possible, which would be in preseason week 1, because they are going to be scouting players throughout preseason and come back to you with information on players that they have scouted during the preseason, and you'll get all that information in week 1. So you want to have your scouts set up early so that you get all the information that you want to have on prospects within the league. So your position expertise here is going to be incredibly important. It doesn't actually show you here on preseason week 1 what the value is of this expertise from these positions, from these scouts. However, I went ahead and I attempted to advance in another franchise to give you guys an idea of what the bonus is whenever you are scouting players based on those tier boosts. So, tier 3 scouts are going to get you a 10% efficiency boost when scouting their position. Tier 2 scouts are going to get you a 5% efficiency boost when scouting their position, and Tier 1 scouts will get you a 2% efficiency boost when scouting their position. Now, the other thing to note here is that certain scouts have that second area of expertise. You guys can see that these 3 scouts, Andre Johnson, Frankie, and Laura, they don't have a second position of expertise, and therefore they only get bonuses when scouting that one position. However, when I go ahead and I take a look at Randy Graves, for example, he is getting a 2% efficiency boost when scouting both free safety and strong safety positions. So we can already tell early on that it is going to be to our advantage to get any scout we can that can scout multiple positions, that has that secondary position expertise. That will set you up for additional success and allow you to get extra efficiency bonuses whenever scouting throughout the season. So, whenever you have the opportunity, I highly recommend that you go out and you find scouts that can scout multiple positions. Try not to have scouts that overlap, in my opinion. Unless you are really focused on scouting one position, I would try not to have scouts that overlap with the same positions. I would try to scout multiple positions that your team needs. For example, I need offensive line, so I went out and I made sure that my Tier 2 and Tier 3 scouts are scouting left tackle, right guard, and left guard. That's 4 out of the 5 offensive line positions that I already have scouted, and I'll be getting a 10% bonus on right guards and left guards, and I'll be getting a 5% bonus in efficiency on left tackles and right tackles. That is going to help me out tremendously in finding the best talent at those positions, and I may consider switching out these two that don't have a second position of expertise with a scout that potentially has a second position of expertise. You can see there are even Tier 1 scouts that will have a secondary position of expertise. The point here being that you want to try to make sure you have as many positions covered as possible that you're going to be looking to scout. Now, let's say, for example, all you need to scout is offensive line. You don't care about any other positions. Well, try to find as many scouts that are going to cover offensive line as possible. You don't necessarily have to spread out your positional expertise. You can have multiple guys covering the same positions. So make sure that when you hop into a new franchise under the new scouting update, that the first thing that you do now is go in and try to hire and fire scouts according to what you think your team's going to need. For example, with the Bengals here, I feel that I need to scout offensive line and try to add a couple of more offensive linemen to my team. I want to know what is out there for me to be able to draft and add value to my team. So I'm going to go out there and I'm going to find scouts that are going to give me those benefits, those 10%, 5%, and 2%, in order to have that additional chance to find those players that I need, that additional efficiency boost that is going to give me an advantage whenever scouting the positions that I'm looking for. Now, the next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that you assign these players to regions, because they, like I said, are going to be coming back with scouting information for you in week 1. So I definitely recommend that you guys go out here and assign a specific region to each of these guys. Now, you can only have one scout in one region at a time. So you guys saw that this guy was assigned to Northeast. As soon as I switched Komodo to Northeast, it took him off of Northeast. So you can have one scout for each region is essentially the point here. So you're going to have a national, central, west, northeast, and southeast scout at all times within your franchise mode under the new scouting update. So it's going to be important for you guys to go in, find scouts that fit your needs, that fit what you're trying to find within the draft, and then select regions for those scouts so they can go out and start finding players for you. This is going to set you guys up for success early on. Try to find the scouts that are going to be most beneficial to your team and give you those secondary position expertises, as long as those fit with what you're trying to look for as a team. Now, like I said, I'm probably not going to try to overlap because I have multiple position needs, though I can't say that it's not recommended to overlap, because if you have one position of need that is glaring to you, overlapping and getting that additional efficiency bonus might be just what you're looking for. Now, something else that I figure you may be able to capitalize on within this scouting system here in Madden 22 with the updated scouting system is once you have a certain position scouted, like let's say I have all left guards and right guard scouted, I may want to fire Alan Faneca and go out and find a new scout that has different positional expertises. Now, that might be a little bit cheese in a sense, but you might be able to get more players scouted by scouting, one position and focusing on that position with his positional expertise, and then switching over to a different scout that is maybe going to focus on an area that your scouting is weak at that point in time. So I can't speak to it because I have not dived super deep into the scouting system so far in terms of how it progresses throughout a season, but I'm looking forward to diving further into that. If you guys are looking forward to any more videos on this, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new, and comment down below with anything else you guys would like to see. Hopefully this video presented some valuable information to you guys and get you guys set on the right path for the new franchise update, for the new scouting update, so you guys can get set up early on. And like I said, the last important important point to note here is that your scouting is going to activate in week 1. So you want to have everything set up prior to week 1 so that you are in the right position to take advantage of that. With all that being said, I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video.